Oh, hello everyone. It's so lovely to see you. My name's Emerald and I'm one of Santa's elves. I've taken a sneaky few minutes off from the toy workshop production line to see what you've all been up to, raising money and having some festive fun for Children's Hospice Southwest. Santa tells me you've all been dressing up in Christmas outfits and doing all sorts of things. Walking, running, juggling, doing roly-polies and cartwheels, hula hooping and generally getting into the festive spirit. I can't wait to see the photos of you all. Everyone from Children's Hospice Southwest has asked me to say a special thank you to each and every one of you. Santa has asked me to let you know that you are all definitely on his nice list ready for delivery on Christmas Eve. Oh my goodness, how exciting is that? Now, if you'd like to get yourselves comfortable, I'd love to read you a special Christmas story that has been written just for you. You sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin. Well, boomed Santa, have all the children from Plymouth been good this year? Well, mostly, answered the little old elf as he bustled across the busy workshop to Santa's desk. Santa peered at the elf from behind his tall teetering pile of letters that the children of Plymouth had sent him. Mostly? Asked Santa, looking over the top of his glasses. Yes, but they've all been especially good in the last few days, said the elf. Jolly good, chuckled Santa. Then we'd better get their presents loaded up. Even though the sack of presents was really, really big and the elves were really, really small, they seemed to have no trouble loading it into Santa's sleigh. Though how they managed to fit such a big sack into one little sleigh, even they didn't know. But somehow they did. Splendid, boomed Santa. We're ready to go. Not quite, Santa, said the little old elf. One of our reindeers is missing. Missing? Which reindeer is missing? Asked Santa. The youngest one, Santa, said the elf. It's his first flight tonight. I've called him, but just then a young reindeer strolled up, munching on a large carrot. Where have you been? Asked Santa. But the young reindeer was crunching so loudly that it was no wonder he hadn't heard the old elf calling. Oh, well, never mind, said Santa, giving the reindeer a little wink. He took out the Santa nav and tapped in the postcode PL1. This will guide us to Plymouth in no time. Crunch, crunch, crunch. With a flick of the reins and a jerk of the harness, off they went racing through the sky. Ho, 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 laughed Santa. We'll soon have these parcels delivered to Plymouth. Santa flew the sleigh through the starry night, heading south across the North Sea. On they flew in the crisp wintry air, passing high above the lights of Exeter and on past Tavistock. The young reindeer was very excited. He'd never been away from the North Pole before. They were just crossing the Blackdown Hills when suddenly they ran into a blizzard. Snowflakes whirled around the sleigh. They couldn't see a thing. The youngest was a bit worried, but Santa didn't seem at all worried. In 2 kilometres, said the sat-nav's own bossy lady voice. Keep left at the next star. But madam, Santa blustered, I can't see any stars at all in this snow. Soon they were hopelessly lost. Then, through the howling blizzard, the youngest reindeer heard a faint ringing sound. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. He looked over at the old reindeer with the red nose, but he had his head down. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. There was that sound again, like clock chimes ringing. The youngest reindeer turned around to look at Santa, but he wasn't listening. He seemed to be arguing with the little box with the buttons on it. With the flick of a harness and the jerk of the reins, the youngest reindeer gave a sharp tug and headed off towards the sound of the chimes, pulling Santa and his sleigh behind him. "Whoa!" cried Santa, pulling his hat straight. "What's going on?" Then, to his surprise, he heard the ringing sound. "Oh, well done, young reindeer," he shouted. "It must be the bells of St. Andrew's. Don't worry, children, Santa's coming." Then suddenly, crunch! The sleigh hit something as it plummeted through the snow clouds. "You have arrived," said the sat-nav unhelpfully. Finally, when the snow had died down and the clouds parted, Santa discovered exactly where they were. Stuck right at the top of the Christmas tree on the Barbican. "Everybody pull!" The reindeer pulled with all their might until at last, with a screeching noise, the sleigh scraped clear of the tower and Santa steered them safely over Sutton Harbour, above Drake's Circus and down to Smeaton's Tower. Luckily, there was no real damage done, but all the parcels had been jumbled up. Santa quickly sorted out the presents into order again. "Right," said Santa. "Thanks to that young reindeer, I know where we are now. Don't worry, children. Santa's coming." Santa drove his sleigh expertly from rooftop to rooftop all over Plymouth, popping in and out of chimneys as fast as he could, which was pretty fast for a chubby chap. There were big chimneys in Plymstock, small chimneys in Peveril. He squeezed down thin chimneys in Mutley and plummeted down fat chimneys in Higher Compton. The youngest reindeer was amazed at how quickly it all went. Santa never seemed to get tired at all, and it looked like the children in Plymouth were going to be very lucky this year. But the youngest reindeer was starting to feel a bit weary and quite hungry too. In house after house, Santa delivered, and he delved inside his sack for parcels of every size and shape. He piled them under the Christmas tree and carefully filled up the stockings with surprises. In house after house, the good children of Plymouth had left out a large mince pie, a small glass of something, and a big crunchy carrot. Santa took a little bite out of each mince pie and a tiny sip of something, wiped his beard, and popped the carrots into his sack. From Compton to Devonport, from Manamee to Mutley, from Plymstock to Stonehouse, and all the places in between, Santa and his sleigh visited every house in Plymouth. Santa delivered presents to Alfie, Ava, Benjamin, Brooke, Charlie, Chloe. The list went on and on. Zach, Zoe, Zibble. Zibble? That must be a spelling mistake, surely. Anyway, finally Santa had delivered the last present on his long Plymouth list. "Great moons and stars," he sighed. "It's past midnight and my sack seems as heavy as ever. I hope I haven't forgotten anyone." Santa opened the sack to check, but it was full of juicy, crunchy carrots. Santa shared out the carrots between all the reindeer. "Well done, lad," he said, patting the youngest reindeer gently on the nose. But the youngest reindeer didn't hear him. He was too busy munching. Then it was time to set off for home. Santa reset the Santa nav for the North Pole, and soon they were speeding above the National Aquarium, past the university, and over the Tamar through the crisp, starry night. "Ho, ho, ho," laughed Santa. "Merry Christmas, Plymouth." Well, I don't know about you boys and girls, but that's made me feel a bit sleepy. So I'm just off to put my Santa's elf PJs on and snuggle up with a nice hot cup of cocoa. But before I go, I'd just like to wish you and your families a very, very happy and safe Christmas. And hopefully I'll look forward to seeing you all again next year at Santa's on the Run 2021. Merry Christmas, everyone.